There's a long dormant piece of me that so very badly wants out.
What are you still doing here, old man?
I'm gonna fuck you up.
So we finally got the release of Nobody on VOD, and it's every bit as good as expected. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brandon, and this is Film Flare, where we discuss anything and everything that makes film and television great. So be sure to subscribe. Let's talk about a great movie. Now, I've been waiting for this movie to come out on VOD for a long time, and having its release date pushed back nearly half a dozen times certainly didn't help with the anticipation. But it's finally here, and I was really excited to watch it.
It's been a hell of a day.
You can see that.
Nobody stars Bob Odenkirk as a middle-aged family man who, after stepping up to help a woman being harassed by a group of men, becomes a target of a vengeful Russian mafia boss dead set on revenge. Apparently, this movie was based on an idea from Bob himself after dealing with his own home invasion and thinking about how he would have handled the situation if he was a badass. It automatically feels like this movie pulls from a ton of recent movies. Of course, the first thing that comes to mind when you think of a family man falling back on violent tendencies to protect that family is none other than Taken. And while this movie kind of has those vibes, the character himself is more like a mashup of the brains and morality of Denzel Washington's Equalizer and the skills of Keanu Reeves' John Wick. And that's not at all surprising considering this movie was written by Kolstad, who's also the creator of the John Wick franchise. It's also directed by Ilya Naishuller, who's best known as the writer and director for Hardcore Henry, the fully POV action movie from 2015. It really feels like these type of films are becoming their own little action subgenre in and of themselves. And honestly, they're all surprisingly good. Middle-aged men being extremely violent against criminals is just entertaining to watch. And when we first see this middle-aged, apathetic family man, he doesn't even seem capable of violence, even when his family is in danger. But soon after that, we find out that he was not only just holding back, but also just how capable he really is when he lets loose. And when that happens, what ensues is just a whole bunch of fun as we watch him tear his way through an entire criminal organization. The action sequences are both realistic and brutal in their depiction of the violence, and they're pretty thrilling to watch, despite being more gritty and honestly painful looking than most similar action films would depict. But for all of the revenge chasing on both sides, this film simply doesn't take itself seriously, even when turning the action up to 11.
Give me the goddamn kitty cat bracelet, motherfucker!
From an old man going from singing karaoke to killing a man with a martini glass only a few minutes later, or even an older man killing a couple of guys in a retirement home. This film just comes up with a bunch of interesting ways for older men to kill much more capable younger guys. And besides the action, the characters were also interesting in and of themselves. Bob Odenkirk was a lot of fun to watch in this type of role. He mainly sticks to drama and sometimes darker humor, but we get to see a whole nother side of him in this one, and he nails every aspect of this character. From the reserved meekness in the beginning, to the anger, physicality, and straight fury required for the second and third act. Even in the first act, you could see that small bit of fire behind his eyes that he was desperately trying to keep at bay. There's also been a ton of behind the scenes pictures and footage of Bob's training routine for this role, and you would have honestly thought that he was training to be in a Marvel film. And that's all a credit to Bob's dedication to this role and acting in the film. He really does take everything we know about him to a whole nother level. I was also happy to see RZA in this film. When I was hearing his voice on the radio, I knew I recognized it, but I just couldn't quite place it. And I was happily surprised at his reveal in the end. And I do think he could have been used more throughout the film, rather than just a voice on the radio and over the phone we hear a couple of times here and there. Especially because he and our main character keep calling themselves brothers, with Christopher Lloyd as their father, without ever really explaining just how their family came to be.
For 12 years, I worked for some very dangerous people.
I think this story has a lot more room for those characters beyond what we get to see on screen. There's a whole lot of backstory and past adventures for this family that only gets briefly mentioned in this film. And while I do like the idea of this movie being a standalone with no sequels, I would definitely watch these characters in a prequel movie.
You know, I tried the retirement thing. I enjoyed it. But god damn it, Hutchie, if I didn't miss this shit.
All in all, this is a really fun action movie with a group of characters you wouldn't expect to fit the bill at all. And because it doesn't take itself seriously, the audience doesn't have to either, making it an enjoyable watch all the way through. But what are your thoughts on Nobody? Let me know in the comments below. It's available now for streaming on VOD. But before you go and watch that, please do be sure to give this a like and subscribe for more reviews like this. We've got new content coming out every Tuesdays and Fridays. But until next time, have a great day and don't forget to watch a great movie. Bye.
Who the fuck are you?
Me, I'm nobody.